In this video, we will show you how to create an optical art-inspired design in a few simple steps. We will create the illusion of movement using geometric shapes. The result is a bold visual effect with a monogram in the center that is not stitched, but rather implied by an empty space. This technique is perfect for decorating t-shirts, tote bags, or other accessories. I've chosen to decorate a store-bought tote bag. This time, I'll use the SEWTECH 8-in-1 magnetic embroidery frame for fast and easy hooping. There are plenty of hoops to choose from. I will use the 8 by 6 inches, that is 15 by 20 centimeters approximately, which is ideal for large bags. For more information on the SEWTECH hoops, check the link in the description. Let's see how to add this hoop as a custom hoop in the software. On the Welcome screen, go to the Tools menu and select Options if using Windows, or select Preferences under the Drawings menu if you're using Mac OS. From the appearing dialog, go to the Custom Hoops tab. Here you can manage your custom hoops. Press the Add button to add a new custom hoop. In the dialog that appears, type a name for the hoop. Select one of the machine manufacturers and the model of the machine. Select the rectangular hoop shape and define the useful stitch area by setting width to 130 mm and height to 180 mm. Press Create and you're done. You only need to restart the software for the change to take effect. Relaunch the software and click on the Create New button to start a fresh design. Press the machine icon on the standard tools bar and select Chains. In the dialog box, pick the right machine and scroll down to see all the available hoops, including the custom ones you have added. Just click on it to choose it. Now, let's move on to the digitizing part. Let's draw a long triangle shape and apply a circular array to create a full circle of triangles. This will be the basis of our design. Under the Guidelines mode, you will find the Work Area option. Open the dialog box, keep the rectangular area type selected, and set width to 100 mm and height to 150 mm, which will be the final size of the design. Press OK to insert the work area that will be used as a guide. From the Tools toolbar, activate Polygon from the ready-made shapes. In the Tool Options bar, set number of sides to 3 and set the start angle to 90 degrees. Click and drag to draw a long, narrow triangle. In Selection mode, in the Tool Options pane, set the width to 70 mm. We want the height to be slightly longer than the diagonal distance from the center to the corner, so set height to 94 mm. Set x-axis to 0 mm and y-axis to -47 mm to bring the long edge of the triangle towards the center of the hoop. Keep the triangle selected and go to the Colors bar. Click the X button on the upper row to remove the outline of the triangle. To add a new fill color, click the bucket with a plus sign on the lower row and select a color from the pop-up color wheel. Pick a color that creates a strong contrast with the background fabric you're using. I'm using an ivory tote bag, so a dark purple color will look great with this design. Right-click and choose Convert to Curves from the Context menu. From the Arrays section on the Tools bar, choose Circular Array. In the Tool Options pane, choose Full Circle from the preset list. Set the step count to 22 and make sure Clone Objects and Clockwise are enabled. If needed, rotate the array item so that the long edge points toward the center of the hoop and click to apply the array. The Clone Objects feature is enabled, so the copies of the original object are marked as clones. This means that you can reshape them all together by reshaping just one of them. To give the illusion of movement, we will give an S-like shape to all the clones. Start the node editor, select one of the clones, and right-click to add nodes, splitting both of the triangle's long sides into 3 parts. Click and drag to select the newly added nodes together, right-click, and convert them to Auto Smooth so that the curves you create are automatically adjusted. Select the first 2 nodes and move them using the arrow keys on your keyboard. See how easily you can create a completely different look? Move the nodes until you are happy with the result. Now, I want the design to be stitched within a rectangular border. To split the shapes and delete the parts that fall outside the border, let's use the knife tool. First, we need a border with an open outline to use the knife over the fill shapes. Use the Shapes tool to draw a rectangle. Go to Selection mode and in the Tool Options pane, set width to 100 mm, height to 150 mm, and set X and Y to 0 to center it to the hoop. Right-click and select Convert to Curves from the Convex menu. Now we have a closed curve object, so if we apply the Split Outline option on it, we will create an open object without any fill. This object will practically act as the cutting edge of our knife, splitting the rays we previously created. To do so, start the node editor, choose a place between the fill shapes, right-click on the outline, and select Split Outline. Just make sure that the node is not placed on top of one of the rays so that the knife tool can cleanly split all the rays later on. For more information on that function, check our video about the knife tool. You can easily find it under the tutorials found on the welcome screen under the Tools section. Now, switch to Selection mode, select all the shapes together, and right-click to choose the knife tool. To delete the parts you no longer need, hold the Control key down while you click and drag over the shapes to select them, then press Delete. Repeat until you have deleted all unwanted parts. Now that you have created this mesmerizing background, insert a monogram at the center of the design using the text option from the lettering tool. Type a capital letter and use a bold font such as Arial Black. Switch to Selection mode and resize the letter using the handles or by entering a numeric value in the Tool Options pane. Set X and Y to 0 to center it to the design. Our intention is to create an empty space in the shape of the letter so that the monogram is implied by the empty space. An easy way to do this is to set the fill of the letter to Artwork from the Properties tab. All fill stitches are now removed from that area. Keep in mind that whenever a specific fill area is not embroidered, you can set its fill to Artwork to remove the stitches instantly. Start Slow Redraw to simulate the embroidery process. It looks very nice already. For the best outcome, you may need to correct certain details. For instance, you may want to use the node editor to refine shapes and avoid any strange or uneven forms. The design is now ready. Click on the print button. From the print preview, check that scale is at 100% and create a printout of the design. Now it's time to send the design to Stitchport, which is connected to my machine, and proceed with the embroidery. For this project, you will need the SEWTECH magnetic hoop or other hoop, a tote bag, a piece of stabilizer, a printout of the design, and thread of your choice. Let's see how easily you can hoop a ready-made tote bag and decorate it with your custom embroidery design. First, use tailor's chalk to mark the front center. Place the printout of the design to define the final position. Mark the side centers of the design on the tote bag. Connect the marks to find the center of the design. Cut a piece of tearaway stabilizer and use paper tape to keep it on the frame. Place the metal frame inside the tote bag and move it to the position where you want to embroider the design. Place the magnetic frame on top to keep everything firmly in place. Check that the center line of the bag is aligned with the hoop frame. Attach the hoop to the main frame, tighten the screw on top of the frame to keep the hoop firmly in place. Attach the main frame to your machine. Make sure the bag is open and the rest of it is positioned underneath the arm of the machine so that it doesn't get caught. Start embroidering the design. When stitching is finished, you can easily remove the hoop from the machine. This technique gives you a modern graphic look that works beautifully on otherwise ordinary tote bags and everyday accessories. You can easily adapt the project, create different variations following the same workflow. Leave your feedback in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more creative embroidery tutorials.